Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. You know what happened a few hours ago? This. Ti piace il nome Gattone? Perché un giorno avevamo qui Manuel Locatelli e ci ha detto noi lo chiamiamo tutti Gattone.
Sì, sì, mi piace tanto, ormai è diventato, tra virgolette, iconico, quindi
Me asking Federico Gatti if he loved the name Gattone. Ragazzi, I told you in this morning's video that I had a little secret that unfortunately I couldn't spoil a few hours ago when I was recording, but now it is official. Federico Gatti was with me one-on-one on Juventus Twitch. He announced himself that he extended his contract until 2028. In today's video, I will try to do my best to try to recap everything that he said because it was live in Italian. So I know it's always difficult for the people to follow it, also because we announced it a few minutes before because we can't anticipate too much, otherwise the surprise would have gone. So I will try to, for the people that missed it, but also for the people that do not speak, unfortunately, Italian, to recap what he said. But before that, let me share my emotions, because I tell you, it's not the first player that I interview now, but ragazzi, you can't imagine. It is super stressing, but it's really an honor. I can't repeat it too much how blessed I am to do that. Because, you know, they tell you, Beppe, you know what, we will renew Gatti and we will announce it live on the channel. And then you have to spend time with him, 35 minutes together with Gatti, with the chat that is writing at the same time. I'm alone to do it. So it's absolutely not easy because I'm stressed. You know, I am, and I never said that I'm a journalist. I am absolutely not a journalist. I am a fan. And when I speak with Rabiot, with Nicolosi, with Alessandro Matri, yesterday with Barzagli, with Ilivio, I am a fan. So, you know, you have that sparkling eyes and you don't know what the answers will be. So it's just fantastic. I tell you about the man now. Federico Gatti was fantastic. You know what I really loved about him? It's a humble guy. A guy that grew up on the streets. He worked. He had a normal, casual job like you, like me. He know what it is to sacrifice himself, to do sacrifices in the world, to work hard to arrive at a certain moment to the top, to believe in dreams. And what he shared in the interview that I had with him, the 35 minutes with him, was really beautiful. A lot of messages. So let's start without waiting too much. What did he say? So he started immediately. I said, Ciao Federico Gatti. He spoiled it. I wanted to go with a bit of suspense, you know, like, why are you here? What is that announcement that you want to do? No, he said, good morning, I continue with Juventus until 2028. Immediately, no surprise. And he was super happy. He said, you know, it's a renewal that I'm happy about. It's like a second family that I am in. So Juventus is considering really a second family. And also he started immediately with a joke. He said, yes, because I asked him, is it until 2028? He said yes. And he started with a joke saying, you know what? I would have loved to extend even more. You know, I would have been ready to sign for even more years. So really beautiful intro of the live. Then he continues speaking about the fact that, you know, it's tough. It's difficult sometimes to realize where he is. Now he knows about the sacrifices that he did every single morning, because he's taking the car from his home to the Continassa where he's training, and he's saying every single morning I go through where I was living when I was younger, and every time I'm thinking, you know, about the house of my grandfather, all the sacrifices that we did in a family, and where I arrived today. So it's always nice to have that check, you know, that reality check every single morning. Then he continued. When I ask him, you know, that you are also an example for a lot of young kids, for, you know, young players, for people that believe in a dream, that everything is possible in life. He said, yes, I am aware of that responsibility I have. And it's something that is making me really happy, really proud about that. I know that how it is to live difficult moments in life. I experience it, and I'm happy that I can share it also with Juventini, but also with other people, how it is to sacrifice yourself in life and arrive to a dream. I asked him, as you saw in that little intro that I put, if he liked the name Gattone, because it was Locatelli that sparked it to me, how they were calling him in training session. He said, yeah, I really like the surname. I really like the nickname Gattone, also because it's something, you know, that is representing me. What about the future? I said, what can we wish for you? Because today it's a happy day. It's you continuing with Juventus until 28. He said to win a trophy. He had absolutely no hesitation. Winning a trophy. And you know what impressed me is the fact that he already played the ceremony of the celebration of winning that trophy, because he didn't say yes only winning a trophy. He said no, winning a trophy, and I can already dream about, I can already imagine how it will be to go through the city with, these buses without roof and to party. And he said, with the music. And when I told him what kind of music I was expecting, I don't know, his favorite song or whatever, he said, no, I imagined the day, a sunny day, with all the people celebrating, and the music will be the chants of the tifosi. Ragazzi, if I already loved Federico Gatti, when he's answering me these kind of things with the chants of the tifosi, that's the music that I want to hear. Of course, I fall even more in love with Federico Gattone. Then I asked him about his past idols. He said, I am a defender since only 3 years. Before that, I was playing as a mezzala, so my idols were other people. Now that I am officially for sure a defender, of course, I'm watching a lot of videos to study a lot of defenders. So he didn't tell me a lot of names, but it was really impressive to know that until like 3.5 years, 4 years ago, he was a mezzala and not a defender. And that's also, when we see him going with the ball, when he's going in the front, that's probably also because linked to the past. So fantastic answer for that. Then we spoke about other things, about the fact that he signed with Juve on the 31st of January 2022, and he had immediately to go back in second division with Frosinone. I said, can you be honest? Can you tell me the emotion you had? And he said, Beppe, I will tell you the truth. I really wanted to leave Frosinone because I knew that it was the moment of my life. I could go in another club. He said, Juventus was already interesting in me, but from the moment that they heard that a lot of other teams were really in contact, well, they anticipated everyone and they told me, Gatti, do you want to come at Juve? And they went on me as a player, and that was something that was fantastic. And he said, I always will remember that day because I woke up at 5 a.m. No, he said, I left Napoli, because Frosinone is in the south. I left from Napoli at 5 a.m. in the morning. At 7 a.m. I was already in Turin. It was 0 degrees Celsius, so super cold. But I was so excited that day. I had so much adrenaline in me that I was there just in a shirt. So I was not even feeling the cold, just to tell you how crazy and happy he was to be there in Torino to do the medical test and signing with Juventus. I told him that last year he waited for me to be at the stadium in Juve Spezia for doing his official debut with Juventus. He said, that's also the reason why, joking, because it was really nice. He was also joking with the question I was telling him. And then he said, of course, I waited that moment really a lot. And then it happened, Juve Spezia. And then I told him, but it was not, an easy start of the season, because on the first 25 games of Serie A, you played only 6 games. So it was not that he started immediately and he was consistent in his role. He said, I know. I continued to work really hard in training session, what actually Locatelli already told me last year. He said Gatti was working super hard every single day, and I deserved it. Of course, that game against Freiburg changed probably my destiny at Juve, because from that moment on, then he started to play, and he played like 12 games on 13 in the last 13 games of Serie A. He scored 2 goals in Europa League. I showed them, his first goal against Freiburg in the last minute. He said I went totally crazy. I wanted to run everywhere, left, right, up, down. I didn't understand what was happening to me. So it was just beautiful. And then he also spoke about that goal that he scored against Sevilla, telling me I'm still pissed off. I'm still regretting the fact that we didn't go into the final, because it was something that I really wanted. But anyway, you learn from the losses, and it helps you also to mature and to grow there. He spoke about Allegri, saying that he has a fantastic relationship with him. A lot of time they are joking, they are doing scherzi in Italian. So he spoke really well about the coach as well. Speaking about the fact that he's feeling at home, that he's a player that is never giving up. He always have, every single morning when he's starting the day, he always have that will. And these are really beautiful messages that he was actually transmitting us. Then we continue speaking about other things, about, of course, the goal in the Derby di Torino. But I told him, it was not an easy week for you. Remembering also Sassuolo, that own goal, he said, it was fantastic to have the continuous support of the team, the club Juventus that was there next to me. They help you to grow. And in these moments, you have to be focused on yourself, not listening to what people are saying around. Otherwise, you go totally crazy. He's also coming back on that one a bit later in the interview. But he said, it's fantastic to have great people also next to you. The family, of course, the friends, but also the tifosi, the real tifosi. So he's insisting on the real tifosi. Then he said that they are fundamental, the tifosi, because they are the one that are giving you the strength to do a bit more. Super happy about the return of La Curva. He said it in the interview. It's fantastic to have the people chanting and pushing you to do even more. So on that one, I was super happy. So he really spoke as a guy that needed that passion, that energy from the stadium. And he's a guy that is so close to the supporters. By the way, I didn't show him the goal that he scored against Torino, but I showed him the celebration after that the referee said, yes, it's a valid goal. The run that he did until the supporter. I told him, were you not crazy? And thinking, maybe if I do all that run of all the field, I will be maybe tired. He said, Beppe, even if you saw the goals that I was scoring in Serie D, so in 4th division of Italy, I was always celebrating like that because I go totally crazy. I have euphoria and I go crazy and I want to go close to the supporters. What else did he say in that interview about Milan, that victory of Milan? He said the win of Milan was really fundamental because they are really, really strong. Tech Szczesny did a fantastic save, and it helps you winning because winning helps you to win and to continue to win, but also it gives you the opportunity to have a beautiful week. A week where you can really focus. It gives you also the trust to be aware of what you can do and also be relaxed. Something that yesterday Alessandro Matri, ex-Juventus player, told me a bit the same. Then, what else? He spoke about a few questions. I told him which is the most difficult person in training session to man mark, as he's a defender. He said all of them. Vlahovic has some characteristics, Chiesa has other characteristics, also Keane, also Milik. So he said it's always a game. It's really tough in training session every single day. When I told him what about Serie A, he told me Leao. Leao was really crazy, really strong because he's super unpredictable. He goes on the left, the right. You never know what he will do. So it was super, super difficult. But also other players like Vinicius Junior, Mbappe, these players are super difficult to man mark. When I'm asked him, what about the number? Will you stay with the 4 now, or maybe you will go with 44, which is an Italian song, 44 Gatti? He said, no, I will stay with the 4. And he even told us that he has a reason why he chose that number 4. Unfortunately, he said, I will not spoil it today, but one day I will tell you why I have chosen that number 4. So if you want to, in the comment section, after a maximum of like and subscribing to the channel, if you like the content that I'm bringing you, maybe you can go with some ideas. Why did he choose number 4? I don't know at the moment. I asked him about the defense, 3-man or 4-man. He told me, look, in the 3-man defense, I really like it. Why? Because you are aware that you can go one-on-one with the strikers of the other team. You can be really aggressive, and you can also go up a bit more offensive. So he really liked it, but he said also when you are playing with 4, it's also okay. What else did he say? He spoke about the past, because before arriving to Frosinone in Serie B, Juventus in Serie A, in Champions League, well, it was a guy that I told you in the beginning of the interview, and you probably know, had the usual normal job, a daily job like you, like me. He was working, with in a supermarket, then he did like manual work and so on. He said these are kind of things are helping me so much, are helping us so much, because it's a reality check. You know where you're coming from. And that grinta that everyone is defining me for, well, it comes from there. The origins of me being a grinta player, it comes from there. So beautiful. And he said, after the game, because during the game I'm so focused, but after the game, after that triple whistle, when I'm watching around, I'm still asking myself, I'm here. And I can't realize it. And if a few years ago someone would have told me, Gatti, Federico, one day you will play at Juventus, I would never believed in that. The message that he gave to the supporters, and that's towards the last part of the video, he said, when you have a passion or a dream, don't leave it. For nothing in the world, give up on your passion. Because you have to continue believing it. It happened to me, and it can happen to everyone at any moment of your moment. Then he said, when the moments are difficult, when it's really tough, when it's hard, well, don't focus on other people, focus only on yourself. You have to just don't care about what people are saying about you, because it's impossible that every single person is loving you. You will never satisfy everyone. So that's impossible. There will always be people that will continue to insult you. And when things are going well, these same people, they will jump on the ship when things are doing well. So these were the words of Federico Gatti. Beautiful last message. I'm sure it will help me as well to continue to grow as a content creator, because it's true. You can't just being loved by everyone, and you will always have some people that will insult you. So not only I'm happy for the 2028 extension, not only I'm happy that I had that one-to-one, so thank you Juventus for the opportunity, but I'm super happy to have known Federico Gatti as a person even more. So thank you, and also thank you to all the people that are following today. Hope you appreciated that I'm doing the recap in English. Maximum of like, continue to subscribe. Grazie, Forza Gatti, Forza 2028, Forza Juve. Ciao.